Hey, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Mario here once again, and I'm back for some more yet again for the likes of the Maxi Toys videos. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more of Let's Play of Super Mario Odyssey for the Nintendo Switch. Now, if you guys are probably wondering that why we're going back into this main menu right here. Well, I'll point this out in just a moment, but for now, last time we have managed to able to conclude Luigi's Blue World by going through the Moon Kingdom, as far as I'm aware, and also we managed to able to see what happens if we manage to get ourselves into, with the, 999 power moons that we've gone through for the entire Let's Play. Well, the only rewards we can get is just the actual fireworks display for Peach's Castle in the Mushroom Kingdom, and that's pretty much about it. So, yeah, today for this episode, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be the grand finale of this Let's Play. Because of this, there was actually that fourth selectable mode that is actually down right here, which appears to be by the forms of playing VR, or in this case for this matter, virtual reality. Now, if you guys are probably thinking that I was supposed to be able to show this off immediately whenever I get this part started, unfortunately, however, though, it might be pretty complicated when it comes to the actual setup with this specific stuff, because, well, as you can see right there, that much like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe specifically, this does require us the Nintendo Labo in order to actually get the entire experience of virtual reality. So even then, that's as far as I can say about it. So even then, we'll just get this started right here, but unfortunately I can't play this for myself because, well, you know what I mean. And I have to do a quick jump cut right there because every time you do these kinds of stuff, you always have to place your Nintendo Switch system itself in a flat surface, so that way you could able to actually jump right in. So as you can see, you can either choose either the Toy-Con virtual reality goggles or simply don't use. However, though, for me, I simply don't have one of these because even then, I'm just pretty much going to save up for the actual cash for specifically other things in the future. So for now, let's not use that for now on, because otherwise, though, it will be pretty disorientating at times if you're trying to able to do that. But while you're at it, you can able to only utilize the handheld mode until you're able to move the system around. So here's how it's going to be. Find the 9 musicians around the from around the world. So naturally, there are about 3 kingdoms to be selectable, so there are Cap Kingdom, Seaside Kingdom, and Luncheon Kingdom. However, though, you can also just manage to able to revisit back to those 2 cutscenes specifically, the opening and the ending, whatever you want. However, though, it's going to be most likely for the virtual reality bit. So, however, though, I'm not going to do this by myself, so instead, I have to borrow someone else's footage to able to see what is happening during the actual gameplay footage of it so far. So even then, because basically what happens is the fact that in order to actually move around, the actual thing itself is that you have to tilt the actual Nintendo Switch around. It only works on handheld mode somehow. Even though there's also a very cool setup that you could potentially try to do this by simply able to, just trying to access to the forms of, let's just say, what do you call this, like, the capture button, that if you hold down the capture button for as long as you would hold the actual button, then basically this allows you to able to record some parts of the actual, the virtual reality mode. However, though, I can't do that because, well, it might be pretty tedious at times, most notably because, well, it might be pretty awkward for me to able to actually do something like this. So as you can see, that we're going to be exploring for the majority of those kingdoms yet again, except this time around, it's going to take place in of course, the virtual reality portions. So even then, what you can do with it is the fact that you can able to control Mario with it, basically. That's to be expected by this point. However, the biggest difference is between the actual main story, as well as the forms of this particular mode, is that, well, you can't really see what is up ahead unless if you're trying to use the handheld device so that you can able to actually see what's all around the entire kingdom. And the entire objective on these kinds of sections is pretty simple by the looks of it, though. As you can see, that the entire objective is the fact that we need to do all sorts of tasks so that we can able to get these musicians action. So even then, because what happens is that there's a whole bunch of musical notes that we need to find somewhere across the actual the kingdom itself, but in order to actually just to complete the entire kingdom of such, then basically you're gonna have to able to find the rest of them. So even then, because the entire objective is basically you need to collect all these musical notes in some parts throughout the entire kingdom. So even then, as I mentioned this before, I think there are about three kingdoms in total. So even then, know that obviously this will be the last time we're going to be seeing the Cap Kingdom, basically, and same applies for Seaside Kingdom and even Luncheon Kingdom to top it off. So, but then again, this particular mode is really focusing on the entire main thing, which is of course the virtual reality goggles that you always attempt to acquire. But then again, I don't have one of these sadly, just because they might be pretty pricey as such. So even then, we'll just about be able to show you the actual footage of see what this is going to be happening. So, but then again, the best strategy for this is that obviously I highly recommend you're able to utilize the capture button within. I think you get about 30 seconds in each clip, because as far as I'm aware, because of the memories limitations or something. So I'm guessing that makes it pretty obvious for that point. So, but even then though, you probably get the idea for that. Well, I was going to demonstrate this as in the actual docked mode, but somehow, for whatever reason, it's usually unplayable when it comes to docked mode, because even then, the actual mode really wants you to able to focusing on the actual main thing, which is of course play on handheld mode or simply just trying to do this on virtual reality thing. So even then, as far as virtual reality goes, it's actually not too bad actually, aside from you can able to do a different objective, because unlike the main game, the entire objective is basically just grab all kinds of power moons and such. But this time around though, we need to, well, assuming if you're trying to complete those little musical note challenges, as you can see, that basically you would able to actually just to realize that, oh yeah, I forgot about this particular reward if you're trying to accomplish this. Is that if you somehow manage to able to complete the entire objectives, as you can see, when it comes to the band members, if you collect all 3 of them, well, basically this allows you can get yourselves 100 coins or something. I'm not exactly sure how do I explain this, potentially, because that again, I've already tested out for myself, because oddly enough though, is that much like Sonic Lost World's 3DS special stage, is that in order to actually get a full experience of this mode, is that you're gonna have to tilt the actual Nintendo Switch in handheld mode all around, and then yeah, you're gonna have to look like a damn fool, and I really not recommend you go and take it anywhere, because you'll be like a fool when you're trying to like turn and spin in all sorts of ways, because even then it reminds me of Sonic Lost World's terrible special stages in the 3DS version, which that's probably true for that regard. But other than that though, it's actually a nice little distraction, I suppose. But to me though, I think this is entirely optional, because even then though, aside from you know, just trying to able to see the actual opening and the ending cutscenes again, but except on the I've noticed something is the fact that in the opening cutscene, while I did manage to demonstrate that before, I think it has no subtitles this time around though, which is a little bit odd, but that's as far as saying goes, that's all I can say about it. You can also just manage to able to press the R button so that you can able to zoom in for a moment, so just in case you really don't want to lose track of yourself. But apart from those side of things though, that's as far as virtual reality mode goes, that's about it basically. So I kinda wish there's more variety on them, but unlike in Zelda Breath of the Wild's virtual reality thing, that basically I've noticed about the fact that some people seem to get a little bit sick when it comes to the forms of the virtual reality mode in Breath of the Wild. But as far as I'm aware, because I haven't really tested out for myself, and plus we still have not owned ourselves, you know, Nintendo Labo stuff, because we've already, I think Sonic and Sylvester has already mentioned about this before in their Let's Play of Mario Kart 8 / Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, that we don't have ourselves Nintendo Labo, specifically with all sorts of kits. So, but you know, you get the idea for that point. Every once in a while though is the fact that if you go to the actual counterpart, as you can see right there, then you can able to actually explore the different parts of the entire kingdom, such as like, well, we can now entering the actual glass waters thing, as you can see right there. And then in order to actually hit back to its, you know, the actual normal part is the fact that, well, you need to hit onto the pipe, and then you can able to hit back there as much as you want. So even then, I think for the entire purpose of the forms of the 100 coins thing is that, you know, with those coins, they are scattered all over the place. Well, I think in order to actually just to get 100 coins to its disposal is, of course, we need to able to collect them. So I think that's the entire portion of it, and I think you would get yourselves the star icon right next to the actual level itself. So I just want to classify that right away. And there's that cute little puppy dog right there once again, even though this might be the last time we're going to be seeing him up to this point. Now, I'm really hoping that Super Mario Odyssey gets a sequel or something, because that way, while that's been happening, specifically when it gets to either the new Nintendo Direct or E3 next year, then I'll be super hyped about it. So even then, yeah, that's about it, basically. I'm pretty sure that some of these NPCs might be exactly identical, specifically the one in, that female, sea woman or something like that. Again, I haven't really know about any of the names of each and every single kingdom so far at this point, guys. But either way, though, now let's move on to the final kingdom, is the Luncheon Kingdom. So, as far as I'm aware for this point, is that I think you have to do is, like, 9 times in order to, or 3 musical note objectives, because if you somehow do that, then the musical instruments will able to appear. And then basically, in order to actually just to deliver them to the actual band members, is that we need to simply deliver them based off of what speech bubbles they need to able to get. Such as, you know, with this little particular NPC right there that does need a piano here, well, basically, we need to deliver the piano towards him. So, then again, I kinda wish I just wanted able to go for my footage, but because the actual process can be pretty tedious at times, so unfortunately I'm gonna have to borrow someone else's footage, which I do apologize for that, but I'll give it a credit for. So even then, I just want to classify that. So anyway, though, so now we can just go ahead and, well, you can able to fiddle around with this at one point or another, although unlike in certain other virtual reality games, specifically in certain games like Mario Kart Arcade GP VR, which is basically Mario Kart Arcade GP but in virtual reality, that you know what I'm talking about. At least unlike in that game, that if you wear virtual reality goggles, then you'll be just by yourself or something like that, or you become one of the players. But in this, it's just basically you're able to see the different angles with certain kingdoms, and that's as far as memories goes. That's all I can say about this. So even then, although convenient enough though is the fact that, well, luckily you can able to take control of Mario at all times, so even then, that's as far as I can say about it. As far as this extra stuff I'd like to show you guys, like specifically the extra costumes I'd like to show off, but then again though, we're probably gonna be able to actually finish this Let's Play during today, because today's day is the forms of the 28th of December today in 2019, so relatively speaking, I think we should probably just go ahead and say right now we're gonna have to move on to the next set of Let's Plays in the future, specifically in 2020 of course, so yeah, you most likely get the idea for that. So strangely enough though, is the fact that she was the only one that she actually knows the Jump Up Superstar vocal theme. Well, at least to the actual thing itself, or I don't know, it's hard to explain about this sometimes, but I digress. So if you're probably wondering that what happens if you do manage to able to complete all of these objectives, especially noticeable with you know, with the forms of trying to able to find every single of those musician or band members as far as I'm aware. Well, there's actually the unlockable thing that you could able to potentially try to able to go for that stuff, but we're not going to show the whole entire concert per se, because although we might actually just try to show it off in case if we could able to actually end the Let's Play off from here. So even then though, we'll try to at least accept that. So yeah, there's also some hearts that you can get, but I don't think it's necessary you can able to die on these sequence, because I did manage to demonstrate this already, about the fact that I've noticed is the fact that, for instance, for example, in a Cap Kingdom, that I think that was actually the only kingdom that allows me to able to fall off to the actual pit below. And then what happens is that if you fall off to the actual pit, well, you get called back by the actual bubble. Kind of reminds me of that, the bubble mechanic from the likes of Super Mario 3D World, except it doesn't have a lot of emphasis on multiplayer, on specifically 4 players all in one screen or something like that. So yeah, because of this though, as you can see right there, that some people might actually cut out some of the main footages, as you can see right there, most notably because of how the fact that, well, they just need to, you know, just trying to able to make a 30-second gap So even then, because I just want to classify for saying that this entire process can be pretty tedious at points, so that's probably just me anyway. Yeah, as you can see right there, that if you somehow fell into any other hazards or anything like that, well, luckily for you, you can able to just do that. Unfortunately, there's no capture system on this specific mode, as you can see right there. I mean, the only time you can only just use Cappy from is, of course, toss the actual coin rings, as you can see. As well as from that, you can also just manage to use Cappy to use the slingshot so that you can able to launch yourselves to this next section of the entire kingdoms themselves. Including, like, you know, grabbing coins as well as grabbing musical notes, and that's all there is to say. But, you know, you probably get the idea for that solution right there. So, yeah, that's as far as I can usually say about it. And this might actually be the last time we're going to be seeing the actual bunny catching system in this game. Because, well, in order to actually access this particular gate is that, well, you do need to be able to catch the bunny. Because if you do, I don't think there's actually a switch in here somewhere. Because as a result of this specific stuff, that in order to actually get this last musical instrument is that obviously you do need to, you know, catch the bunny and stuff. Well, I don't know what I'm truly saying for this point, right? So, but you know, you get the idea for that. So anyways, once you manage to collect all of these musicians, as you can see right there, especially noticeable with these band members, with all 3 kingdoms combined, in addition with, you know, trying to collect 100 coins in the process here and there too, which I think it's still possible you can do these kinds of stuff though, so at least I can expect that. And basically, this allows you to unlock the special virtual reality concert is actually happening in Concert Hall. So even then, we'll try to check that out. So even then, no. And as far as I'm aware, the actual vocal theme is still once again Jump Up Superstar, but it's actually pretty cool because now we can able to see the rest of the crowd, including Pauline herself. So even then, you can also just manage to take control of yourself in the entirety of the actual Concert Hall. So yeah. It's a nice little reward and a nice little distraction if you really want to get your experience on, you know, virtual reality experience, and also Toad's headphones, kind of Toad is actually there. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I think he managed to able to get used to with the actual beat of the actual music like this. So yeah, I think that's as far as I can say when it comes to the forms of virtual reality thing in this game. I could appreciate if I was going to do this by myself or actually trying to capture footage from, but then again, though, it's a little bit complicated to say the least, especially noticeable with the actual, well, I have to take out my Nintendo Switch out of the dock and then just do it from here. Although I can't do it from the camera recording because that will be pretty horrendous to look at. But at least you can able to do the actual capture button, to say the least. But I'm probably going to skip some parts of the actual song because you already know about the actual song, basically. It is super awesome to able to listen to. So yeah, I think that pretty much wraps it up for our Let's Play of Super Mario Odyssey. So this is me, Mario, and I hope you guys will enjoy this Let's Play, because I surely do, because I'm mostly excited for probably potentially have to let Super Mario Odyssey 2 sequel will make it on its way, I don't know. But then again, we'll find out in 2020. So this is me, Mario, and until then, I am out. See ya.